Hello everyone, welcome to the IAS Mentor Ancient History series. Now we are moving deep south with respect to political history of post-Mauryan period. Let us understand what is happening in deep south. Deep south means this one. Identify this one. So far we have seen in Deccan, Shatavahanas were there. In eastern part, Mahameghavahana dynasty, famous ruler Kharavela. When it comes to Gangetic Valley, Shungas were there. When it comes to northwest and western India, so many different foreign rulers were there. Indo-Greeks, Shakas, Kushanas and Parthians. Now, coming to deep south, three powerful kingdoms were there in post-Mauryan period. One is Cholas, another one Pandyas, another one Cheras. These were three powerful kingdoms. Collectively, they are called Sangam kingdom. The reason being, there is a literature called Sangam literature. In that literature, so much information comes from the developments that took place in this region in that literature. That is why we also call Sangam kingdoms, or the period also known as Sangam period, Sangam age. When it comes to the timeline, 300 CE, 300 up to 300 CE, 300 BCE to 300 CE. Post-Mauryan comes from 200 BC to 300 CE. Now, you remember Ashoka, in his inscription also mentioned about deep south kingdom. He mentioned about Chola, Pandya, Chera not mentioned, but Kerala Putras and Satyaputras. These are the terms referred with respect to deep south kingdoms in Ashoka inscriptions. That shows they are contemporary to Mauryan Empire. During Ashoka time period itself, there is some kind of kingdom in deep south. That shows kingdoms emerged by this time period mean the roots must have gone even much deeper. That is why when we understand about deep south, this is how it goes. If you remember, some of the important prehistoric sites or Stone Age sites, even in Paleolithic stage also, in deep south, Paleolithic say one of the important Paleolithic site was Attirampakam. Attirampakam. Next, when it comes to Mesolithic sites also, Mesolithic sites also, some sites are there like Teri sites in Tamil Nadu. Then after that, Neolithic settlements will come. When it comes to Neolithic, one important settlement is Payampalli. Payampalli in Tamil Nadu only. Next, after that, after Neolithic, we get something called Megalithic. Megalithic. That Megalithic, one of the important settlement of Megalithic, Adi Chennalur. If I show you where this is located, Adi Chennalur, you will identify this one. You see this one? These are some kind of evidences came. When it comes to the location, it is deep south. Now, this is megalithic site around 1000 BC. So, if I write this around 1000 BC and up to 1000 BC, this was happening. When it comes to Mauryan period or Ashoka period, that is 250 BCE. This is what the dawn of history means. This is where the beginning of history started in Tamil Nadu region. Deep south, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, southern Karnataka, southern Andhra, in these regions. Now, this is where megalithic. You know that Paleolithic, Mesolithic, Neolithic means the tool was stone tools. With the stones, they made tools. But when it comes to megalithic, this is iron tools. Because by 1000 BC, iron came. Why we call megalithic means when they buried their dead body in the graveyard, they have surrounded their burial ground with big stones. That's why megalithic, big stones. This is how it started. Now on top of it, now in the process, it is like cave people, beginning of domestication, beginning of living in villages, then gradually they will start living in proto-urban areas and kingdoms will emerge. By 300 BCE, by 300 BCE, kingdoms also started. It's a natural process. The same process, it happened in the northwestern region, Gangetic Valley also, central India also, Deccan also, in deep south also. Meanwhile, when it is happening in deep south, what is happening in the northern side? During this time period, 1000 BC means later Vedic period started, early Vedic period. During this time period, Sanskrit. Now do you see? In the Gangetic Valley, in Indus zone and Gangetic Valley, Sanskrit is emerging. Now in this period, these people are also talking something, they are also having some kind of language, that language which in the future is going to be called as Tamil. Or you call it as a Proto-Tamil. By 300 BCE, now this is becoming gradually getting consolidated and taking one shape which is even readable and even can be used for writing purpose. Around the same time, in the northern side, you remember Panini has written a book called Ashtadhyayi in Takshila region, Takshila University, known for its great knowledge. Near that region, around 450 BCE, in Mahajanapada time period, Panini was a great author. He has written Ashtadhyayi. What is this? Sanskrit grammar. So he has codified grammar for Sanskrit, and later this grammar became foundation for so many literary works in Sanskrit. Similarly, by this time period, Tamil grammar also codified by a person called Tolkappiyar. Tolkappiyar is a person, author, same like a Panini. This person has codified Tamil grammar. Book name is Tolkappiyam. With respect to UPSC exam, it mixes both Sanskrit grammar this side in northwestern Gangetic Valley that is going on. Now in the deep south, this kind of grammar is emerging. Tolkappiyam or Tolkappiyar, and he was a disciple of sage Agastya. Sage Agastya is considered as the sage who brought Sanskrit tradition to deep south also. That is why by this time period itself, Sanskrit also known to deep south, but not a dominating one. Local tradition is dominating. That is how Tolkappiyar or Tolkappiyam became the foundational grammar for Tamil literature. Based on this grammar, now so much literature emerged. So much literature emerged. In the common villages, there are so many stories. When it comes to Vedas also, nothing was written in the beginning. It was a oral tradition only. People were just remembering and passing on to the next generation through their oral composition. Similar manner, in Tamil lands also, so many stories were narrated orally. Now when the grammar came, in certain conditions, all the people came together, the scholars of that region came together and they started composing all these existing stories. That assembly is called, they formed, the scholars came together in certain assemblies. This assembly is called Sangam. It happened in the Madurai region. 3 times this Sangam happened, 3 assemblies took place. In these 3 assemblies, it's exactly to remember when it comes to Buddhist council, what happened in Buddhist council? 3 Buddhist councils happened by this time, by 250 BCE. First Buddhist council, second Buddhist council, third Buddhist council. Whatever stories, whatever ideas that were prevalent, whatever ideologies that were prevalent related to Buddhism, codified in first Buddhist council in the form of Sutta Pitaka, Vinaya Pitaka. In third Buddhist council, Ashoka convened third Buddhist council, Abhidhamma Pitaka compiled. In the similar manner, here Pandyan kings in Madurai region convened these assemblies. 3 times 3 assemblies were held. In these 3 assemblies, all the existing knowledge of the Tamil land composed in the form of books, they are collectively known as Sangam literature. That is why this literature is also called Sangam literature. Now, whatever story we know about Sangam kingdoms, Sangam economy, that period, this is the important source for us. Tamil grammar is one source for us. The Sangam literature is one important source. Inspired by these two, after some time, like in case of Mauryan, if we want to know about Mauryan, we were dependent on Mauryan related literature, or the literature which developed during Mauryan, and also the literature developed during Gupta time period also. In Gupta time period also, there was an author called Vishakadatta. He has written a book called Mudra Rakshasa. Mudra Rakshasa talks about Mauryans, but it was written in Gupta period. That means post-Mauryan literature also talks about Mauryan period. Similarly, post-Sangam period, that means after 300 CE also, they keep on talking about greatness about the Tamil land. What happened during Sangam time period? What happened before that? 2 great epics emerged. These 2 great epics also give information about Sangam period. These 2 great Tamil epics called Silappadikaram and Mani Mekhalai. 2 great Tamil epics called Silappadikaram and Mani Mekhalai, similar to, like in case of later Vedic period, if we want to know about the developments of later Vedic period, we dependent on 2 Sanskrit epics. One is Mahabharata, another one is Ramayana. Similarly, when it comes to Tamil literature, there are 2 epics, Silappadikaram and Mani Mekhalai. Interesting element here is, identify this one. Who is Tolkapiyar? Tolkapiyar is a disciple of sage Agastya. Agastya means he is representing Sanskrit tradition. Now, when it comes to Tamil literature, representing Tamil scholars also. Now, you see this one, Silappadikaram and Mani Mekhalai, they are written by a Jain monk, but Tamil Jain monk, and similarly a Buddhist monk, Tamil Buddhist monk. Identify this one. Now, this is how you have to identify Mani Mekhalai, Silappadikaram, a Tamil Jain monk, Tamil Buddhist monk. Sage Agastya coming from northern part, bringing Sanskrit tradition to deep south. That means Sanskrit ideas prevalent in Tamil land. A Jain monk is writing something means Jainism is also spreading. Buddhist monk is writing something means Buddhism is also spreading, like this. Even these are the epics after Sangam period, but even during this Sangam period, this Sangam literature also composed by many local Tamil scholars, as well as those who are following Buddhism, Jainism, Sanskrit tradition, everything. Ultimately, what is happening here? Ashoka also sent Buddhist ambassadors to these locations also. That shows by this time period, by Sangam time period itself, as usual, Sanskrit tradition, Buddhist tradition, Jainism tradition, everything came to deep south as well. Now, let me draw one map. This is how you have to see how one area is getting connected with other areas also. So, no area is isolated. When it comes to this this area influenced this area, and now this area influenced this area. How this area influencing this area means it is considered iron comes from this region initially. But when it comes to later Vedic period, this is Iron Age. Now from where iron comes? Iron initially come here and later they exploited in this Chota Nagpur plateau. Deccan region and Gangetic Valley used to trade with each other. Indus Valley people and Deccan used to trade together. Already connected. Now by 300 BCE to 300 CE, whatever traditions that are prevalent here, that come downward also, and naturally when the people move in the form of trader, in the form of scholar, in the form of pilgrim, naturally these ideas also will move there. That is how by this time period north and south deep interaction, because Mauryan state already reached till this area. Mauryan state, remember, Ashoka don't want to conquer these territories because he wanted to follow peaceful negotiation or peaceful relationship, Ashoka Dhamma. That shows north and south are deeply interconnected by this time period. Nothing is isolated one, except now this part, because this part is still in the evolution stage. Many tribal or Neolithic stage is going on, Chalcolithic phase is going on. Now after some time, kingdoms are going to emerge, but by this time period everything is connected now. Culture wise, everything connected. This is what exactly the specialty of post-Mauryan period is. Post-Mauryan politically disintegrated, but culturally unified. That is what a unique Indian culture is emerging. That's what exactly the present day Indian scenario also. Today we have so many languages, many religions are there, many regions are there, many customs, many festivals, many cultures, but still when it comes to Indian commonness, we are all Indians. That tradition is not now, that happened long ago itself, just we are continuing that tradition. This is what very speciality of post-Mauryan time period. This phase is known as Sangam phase because we know a lot of information about this region from the literature called Sangam literature. Sangam literature. According to this literature, now other sources also. Like now, how many sources? Tamil grammar one source, Sangam literature one source. One famous Sangam literary work is Tirukural. This Sangam literature can be divided into two segments. One is 18 major works and 18 minor works. 18 major works, 18 minor works. One of the 18 minor work is Tirukural. It is like ethical values. It talks about ethical values. 18 major works and 18 minor works. They talk about so many things like their society, their economy, women status, religious cults, kings, their attitude towards different sections of society and their contribution to the society and so on. So many things. Collectively, they are called. They also talk about so many wars and battles. They also talk about so many romantic stories. Collectively, Sangam literature talks about wars and love. Bravery, honor, on the other hand, love. So love and war are the two major components of Sangam literature. So many books emerged. Those so many books converted can be categorized into 18 major works. Another group is 18 minor works. One of the 18 minor work is Tirukural. It talks about how to live ethical with ethics. Like Buddha is giving a Buddhist ideology. Jainam, Vardhaman Mahavira is giving Jainism principles. In this manner, in Tamil Nadu also, this kind of development has taken place. Now, based on this literature, based on this grammar, based on these two epics, we can reconstruct Sangam period society, politics, society, economy. Identify this. Many prelims questions are there here. How North and South is getting interconnected. What are the various sources of Tamil literature, sources of Sangam literature or Sangam period. In Sangam period, Sangam literature developed, but that foundation came from Tamil grammar called Tolkapiyam. Even after Sangam period also, two epics talk about the Sangam period, that is Silappatikaram and Manimekalai. They were written by a Jain monk, one is written by Buddhist monk. It shows Buddhism, Jainism, Sanskrit tradition, everything influencing deep south. On top of it, local traditions, Paleolithic, Mesolithic, Mesolithic, Neolithic and Megalithic. This culture is giving them very unique identity. That is what Tamil identity, what is today. That's where. But this is talking about deep south, means present day Kerala also, Tamil Nadu also, southern Andhra, southern Karnataka. But mostly Tamil Nadu and Kerala region. Now coming to the, based on these evidences, in the deep south, life in deep south, how it is. Let me draw this. If I draw deep southern part clearly, this how Chola, Pandya, Chera. Three kingdoms were there. These three kings always used to fight with each other. And sometimes they used to boast themselves as if they are conquering entire Himalayas also. So that's what it shows the ambition of these people to conquer Himalayas as well. But no one conquered this region, but the ambition is to conquer Himalayas. Then what is the meaning of it? That means Himalayas are also in the imagination of a ruler, means people are considering deep south to Himalayas belongs to single political entity also, single cultural entity also. That is where the idea of India is emerging now. Idea of entire India. That means Indians are now not visualizing only according to their own region. They are now visualizing India means, or Bharat means, from Himalayas to Indian Ocean. So now you tell me, was there no India earlier? But British used to say that it is just a geographical entity, there was no India at all. India, no doubt, politically divided multiple times, but India always connected with this culture only. That idea of India, that cultural unity is the one which is preserving India as a nation. That's why there is also a term called India is a civilizational state. That means it is a state. State means country. Civilizational country. That means long ago itself, this kind of political system was already tried by our ancestors. We are just once again doing that. That is why it is called. It is not that newly we are creating. Our ancestors multiple times created. We are just inheriting and continuing that tradition. Civilizational state or civilizational country. That is because of this only. They used to visualize, but they could not, because they hardly cross this region, because each and everyone is very powerful. Cholas and Pandyas used to fight, Cheras used to fight. Sometimes even alliances also used to happen among themselves to fight with another. If there are three people, two people used to come, go for fight with another one. After some time, these two people will join hands, they will go for fight with Cholas. In that way, multiple combinations, permutation combination used to happen. This kind of politics resulted in war ethics. Sometimes they used to consider the victory is so important, that is so honorable if they become victorious. Sometimes they consider defeat as a shame. Sometimes they don't want to even live after defeat, they want to even die also. That practice is also called Vata Kirutal. Vata Kirutal means some people, if they practice, if they follow, if they fail in wars, if they are defeated, if they face the humiliation in the wars, they feel it is death is far better than that living with that humiliation. They used to commit this ritual. This ritual is fast unto death. Fast unto death. So this kind of war ethics also emerged. Now this kind of practice is not unique now. Already in Jainism also, Chandragupta Maurya already practiced, if you remember. Now this is how UPSC is to connect. It is not an isolated one. In Chandragupta Maurya, remember, Chandragupta Maurya also died by practicing a Jain ritual called Sallekana. Sallekana. Sallekana, fast unto death. When it comes to Deep South, that name is different, but practice is there. When it comes to medieval times, in Rajput tradition, whenever they are going to face invasion and defeat is going to happen, mean Rajput women used to commit mass sati, that is Johar. That means giving up their life for honor. That kind of practice also there in this time period also, in Deep South also, that was there. All right. Now, when it comes to the capitals, Chola capital, Pandya capital and Chera capitals. Let me draw. Chola, Pandya and Chera. Chola capital, when it comes to Cholas, Urayur, this is the capital. Pandya, Madurai, Chera, Karur, all are in Tamil Nadu. Now they used to have one important port also. They used to have one important port also because they are connected with the ocean. Identify this one. This side Arabian Sea, this side Bay of Bengal. That's why coastline is very important for them. This coastline, identify the places. Cholas, Kaveri Pattanam. That is their important port. Urayur is their capital. Karur is the capital of Cheras. For Cheras, Muziris is the port. Pandya's Madurai is the capital. Korka is the port. Identify this. Prelims question. What is the capital? What is the port? Now, if I write Chola, what is the port? Puhar or Kaveri Pattanam. Puhar or Kaveri Pattanam. Madurai, Korkai. In 1 year, there was a question that simply, in the context of ancient India, Puhar, Korkai and Muziris are referred to. They are ports of Sangam period. Karur is Muziris. Alright. So this is how, when it comes to the capitals, they were having, this is the capital, these are the ports. Madurai is the important cultural center. Cultural center. This is the place where Sangams or assemblies happened, where Sangam literature developed. This is how the political system was there like this. And one important famous ruler, like when it comes to Chera Senguttavan, there was one important ruler. When it comes to Chola, one famous ruler was there, Karikala Chola, and he even built one famous dam also on Kaveri river. So that is how during their period welfare activities towards people were also happening. Next one. What about their society means Varna system known to them. Varna system known to them. But it is not dominant. Remember, another prelims question. Why Varna system is known to them? Sanskrit tradition also, Brahmanical tradition. Brahmanical tradition already reached deep south. Tamil grammar was written by a disciple of sage Agastya. Agastya comes from Sanskrit tradition, Brahmanical tradition. That is how. But it is not dominant one. Ecological based division is more. That means hilly people. There are certain terms like hilly people, forests or pastoral people, then desert people, then fertile area people, then coastal area people. It is not by Varna system. It is based on this one. Hilly people, forest people, desert people, fertile soil people, or fertile region people, or coastal area people. Only Tamil literature or Tamil meanings will be different. Suppose if I write, you will have some idea. Suppose these people are called Kurinji people. That means hilly people. Pastoral means Mullai. When it comes to desert people, it is known as Palai. Fertile area people known as Marutam. And last one, coastal area people were known as Nedal. What are these terms? These are the terms in Tamil language, because Tamil literature mentioned them. Now you compare with some other terms, Sanskrit terms like Yavanas. Yavanas refer to Greeks. Mleshchas, barbarians or outsiders. Sanskrit used to refer to different people. Like Greek text also used to refer to Indians, like Chandragupta Maurya, he was called as Chandrakotas. Bindusara was called as Amitragata or Amitrokates. Amitragata is Sanskrit. Amitrokates, like that. Greek used to call Indians with some other names. Sanskrit text used to call some other names. Like that, Tamil language used to call with some other name. Similarly, like this, throughout our past, in terms of medieval India, we have like Parisian terms. Those are the questions in our examination. But ultimately, if we translate, this is like hilly people, forest people, desert people, fertile soil area people, coastal area people. So in this manner, the society is divided. Now, when it comes to women condition is far better than the rigid Varna system. They are more liberal in nature. Even they have given education. They have even composed even Sangam literature as well. That is how the society is there. All right. This is how Sangam literature or Sangam age life was there in deep south. Remember this? We have started like the beginning of story in deep south with Stone Age, later Megalithic, then Sangam age. During Sangam age, we have many developments, many kingdoms were there. We know about the information from various literary works. This literary work are like Tolkapiyam, that is the Tamil grammar, 18 major works, 18 minor works of Sangam literature, and after Sangam period, two important epics are there, Manimegalai, Silappadikaram. So these are important sources to understand. Based on that literature, we have analyzed what kind of society, what kind of political system they were having. All right. This is how deep south developments have taken place in post-Mauryan time period. With this, we have seen the political history of post-Mauryan period. Now, economic life, social life, religious life, art and culture, science and technology life, we will see one after the other here afterwards. Now, this economic life means you have to see holistically entire India, including Sangam also. including Kushanas, including Shakas, overall Indian subcontinent. Like we have seen Mauryan economy and so on. So that is how we will see one after the other now. So with this political history of post-Mauryan we have finished. Right? Thank you.